Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the DJI Mini 3 Pro with me today, and I am at a park that I've never flown a drone at before. Something new to show you guys. This is Charles F. McDevitt Park. Primarily it's a ball field, Little League, but there's some other things too. Let's get this drone up in the air and I'll tell you a little bit more about the park, and we'll look around a little bit. Again, this is the first time I've flown here. This park is on the right off of a major thoroughfare, so we'll get to see some of that in some of the area here too. It's right on the border. Well, we'll talk about that when we fly. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I've got a screen recording going and it looks like we're ready to go here. There's one thing I want to do real quick, and that's to get the histogram going. So let's start that up here with this switch right here. I didn't have that the other day when I was flying on the Boise River, and I believe I was a little underexposed. More about that in a second, but let's go back to the safety menu here. We're on bypass. The radar map, we want that. That shows us what when it's in obstacle avoidance, where the obstacles are at. Return to home altitude, we don't need it that high here. Let's go to 35 meters. That's more than enough. It is not asking for any calibrations. Again, we'll look at the battery. Obviously, battery's looking good, as I knew it would. So we're ready to go here. We are going to shoot in 4K 30. I found with this drone, 4K 30 works a little better. For one thing, it allows you to use any of the automated flight modes and zoom as well, things that you can't do when you're shooting in 60 frames per second. Although 60 frames per second is better when you're yawing, etc. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. Let's take off here. Let's start recording now, and we are in, I see auto is -2. We're going to start back at 0. I think I touched the screen, I think is what happened there. Anyway, we're in full auto. Let's start recording. We're recording now, and I think that looks pretty good. The sky is nice and blue, so we'll see when we take off here. Let's do an automated takeoff on the app, and I'll show you where I'm sitting. And there's that little drone, and it's close enough to us that it's squawking a little bit, and we got a little bit of wind, so it's blowing around just a little bit. But let me spin around and show you where I'm sitting. I found a nice picnic table that's kind of in the shade here. So yeah, in fact, let's turn off obstacle avoidance for a second. Maybe. Off. Maybe. Yeah, there's off. And then we can bring the drone in just a little. That way we can bring it into us, and you guys can get a good look at that little gimbal on the drone and see how it works here. And you can see I'm kind of between a couple of ball fields here. We'll do our droney. Let me drop that camera down, and I am of course going to turn obstacle avoidance back on. Put it in bypass. And it's squawking at us again, so let's quit messing around. Reverse and up now, reverse and up. And I'm hitting pretty hard on that up arrow, as there's some trees back there and some power lines and so forth, so we want to make sure we're good. But you can see where I'm sitting here. We're up, yeah, a little over 40 meters, so that's plenty. So you can see the ball fields here. And the street that you're seeing on the left there, that is called McMillan. And you know, it's a fairly busy street, and you can see those power lines, big major power lines running along there. But this is the access. In fact, that is right down there is my Tahoe. We can zoom in on that guy. Get to that full 2x zoom. There's the Tahoe parked in the shade. Charles McDevitt he was, I should say, a Chief Justice on the Idaho Supreme Court, And my understanding is he's on the Boise Parks Department board of directors. And this park, by the way, is part of the Boise Parks Department, not the Meridian's Parks Department. A lot of the other parks that I show you, for instance, Kleiner Park, etc. And boy, I'm seeing the gimbal move around here a little bit. Yeah, we got some weird stuff going on with the gimbal on the drone. I have not seen that before with this guy. That is interesting. Gimbal motor overloaded. So I'm going to bring it back. We are going to do a return to home here, and let's just see what's going on. Well, this is kind of an interesting little turn of events. So I wonder, you know, there's a little foam piece that goes behind the gimbal, but I'm pretty sure I took that out. That's me dropping the camera down. And yeah, I just checked. I took that foam piece out of the gimbal, so I don't know what's going on. This is unusual for a DJI drone. And let's just see where this guy lands. It doesn't make any pretense at precision landing, but as long as it doesn't land on anything here, we'll be fine. And let's take a look at that gimbal and see if we can see what's going on. Drone is coming down. It's, you know, I don't know. You can see on the Action 2 camera, it's a little bit off the pad. Okay, I'm going to go look at that gimbal and see what's going on. I'm going to leave it recording. So I'm going to show you here. I mean, it looks like the gimbal is operating normally. But what we're going to do is, and yeah, let's see, what's it saying on the thing here? Yeah, gimbal motor overloaded. So I don't know. I'm going to reboot the drone and we're going to see what's happened. Very unusual. So I just shut the drone down and we'll fire it back up here, and the controller is still on, etc. And we're still doing a screen recording, so we'll see what happens. Okay, the drone is firing back up, and let's see when we get connected here.
Please check it on the map.
Okay, we're connected again. It still says unable to take off. We've got plenty of satellites now. Why am I getting unable to take off? Oh, now it says takeoff permitted. Okay, so I am going to start recording again now. And I'm going to do a manual takeoff, both sticks down and in. Maybe. Oh yeah, it wants me to check complete. Both sticks down and in. There we go. And up on that left stick. Okay, let's just go straight forward here and see how the drone performs. We're just in normal mode. Let's test the. Whoop! Don't want to get too close to those trees there, but let's take a look at this little plaque here and see what the plaque says. How about that? So we'll do a little bit. I'll bet you this has to do with Little League. Let's pull forward here. So let's see how close it'll let us get to the little plaque here. And yeah, yep. Supporting youth baseball, Edward M. Simon, and he is another guy that I believe was instrumental in youth baseball here in Idaho, particularly Little League. So let's pick that camera back up, and we are just going to go. We're going to go straight up. In fact, let's level that camera back out. Okay, and we're just going to go straight up. Punch straight up and go back out to where we were at earlier. Don't need to go as high here. Let's just stay down a little bit lower. And I hear the mower back there. Drone is just about right above me, or not far from me here. And anyway, so you can see the park. You got a you've got a nice learning how to talk here, folks. A nice walking path around the park. And yeah, let's get in this corner here and we can kind of ease around and you can see all the ball fields here. So cool that we've got these little league ball fields for the kids to play in. And there's a couple of different parking lots for this facility. How many ball fields are there? Let me back up a little bit more here. Yeah, and whatever problem we had with that gimbal is gone now. That was very strange. I don't know if some dust, it's possible that, you know, dust can get in those gimbal motors. I saw that happen with the original Mavic Mini. If any dust got in there, you had to be very careful and it would affect those gimbal motors. So let's see, we got 4 there, although one of them looks like it's possibly inactive. And there is 5 and 6, 7. So it looks like there's 7 fields here. And you see the parking lot over there at the top middle of the screen. That's where I'm parked at, and I'm sitting between those 2 trees down there. And there's our mower. But let's move forward. This is about a 30-acre park, they said, and with 10 acres that is yet to be developed, and that's kind of what we're looking at right here. But you got a nice open green space here. I'm sure the neighborhood kids probably love that. Oh, there's even a backstop here, so you could play, looks like you could just play a pickup game right here. So it's not really a ball field, but they do have a, we'll get down low here, they do have a backstop with some benches. That's cool. And then this is just an empty field, but I'm going to go out over this because what I want to show you is this is one of the busiest thoroughfares in Idaho. This is called Eagle Road, and it's actually part of what they call Highway 55, which is a north-south highway in Idaho. It takes you up through Cascade, Idaho, and McCall, Idaho. They just did some repaving here. Of course, I'm not going to go out over the street, but I'm kind of giving you the big picture here. You know, you're not seeing a lot of cars now, but trust me, later on today, this will be bumper to bumper in both directions. It's a very, very busy street. In fact, let's turn around the other way. There is a school across here that is let's see, this is a middle school, I believe, right here. And I am trying to remember the name of that school, and I can't think of it right now. Maybe we'll see it as we move closer that way. But you can see this this 4-lane. And by the way, when I first moved to Idaho, this was just a little, it was just a little 2-lane road, but they keep expanding it and expanding it out of necessity. Keeps getting bigger. Anyway, this is another parking lot that's accessible off of Eagle Road. So this park is accessible off of 2 kind of main thoroughfares, Eagle Road and McMillan is the name of the other street. We're going to get down low here. We're not going to go over it. I see some kids skating there, but kind of got a skate park here. Let's take a look at these guys and see if they do any good tricks for us. What do you think? Yeah, they're just kind of sitting there right now, aren't they? We can get down a little lower. Here they go. Let's see what this guy's doing. Yeah, look at him go. That's a little guy on, looks like a scooter. Man, look at that. Holy cow. Let's kind of zoom in. I'll stay off in the distance. Yeah, they're on the little guys on scooters. Yeah, I'm telling you, they didn't have that kind of stuff when I was a kid. Pretty cool. That is awesome. Look at that fun stuff there. Yeah, that's one thing that's really neat about Idaho is there's a lot of youth activity. So let's back up and away from that. up and away. Grab some altitude, and yeah, we can kind of get over the parking lot here. And again, you'll see Eagle Road there on the left-hand side, and we got those big old power lines there. We definitely want to stay away from those. But what I want to show you here is the fishing pond, and I don't know if we're going to see. Yeah, it looks like we got some guys fishing down there. So maybe, what am I looking at right here? I'm going to zoom in. Oh no, maybe I'm seeing things. Nope, that's just what is that? Oh, there's some guys on the other side there fishing right there in a chair. But anyway, they Idaho Fish and Game stocks this fishing pond, and the Parks Department holds fishing derbies and stuff and training for kids here. I just think it's so cool that kids get to come here, and you know, if you're a neighborhood kid, you can just come here, drop a line in, you know. It always kind of bugs me when I see adults out fishing at these kind of things. Leave those fish for the kids, man. That's what I'm saying. You know, if you're an adult, you can go out on the river. There's plenty of places here that you can go fishing. You don't have to fish in these little park ponds that I think are here primarily for kids, or I would like to think that they are at least. But anyway, just kind of a cool facility. We'll just do a little bit of a flyabout here. Little League was important to a lot of us when we were younger. Often it's the first organized sport that as a kid teaches you teamwork and gives you something to occupy your time. I remember it was a lot of fun. I was never particularly athletic as a kid, but I remember I sure enjoyed Little League and was always excited about it. Kind of cool little play structure here. I don't see any kids out there right now, but they got play structures. So like what I would say this is for when Big Brother and Big Sister are playing Little League baseball, the little guys can come out here and stay occupied and have some fun. Pick up that camera again and give you the bigger picture. I saw over here a kind of an open area that I'm not sure what it is, so I think we should just fly over there and take a look. We're down, yeah, we got plenty of battery. We're at 35% battery. I'm not sure what subdivision this is. What do we got here? Is this a nursery or what? I'm trying to remember what this is. And I don't. So it looks like we got some construction. Oh, this is just storage, I guess. This is just storage, and they must, on this empty lot, they just must have, oh, you know what this is? This is the paving equipment for the repaving that they're doing on Eagle Road. And then that's a storage company that's next to them there. You got the U-Haul vans out front. It's amazing. Yeah, what's that called? Something storage there. We got zoom, so let's use it. Let's zoom in on what that says there. Premier storage. Well, it looks pretty premier to me. But anyway, so then that's all the paving equipment that they're using, or part of it, that they're using to do the repaving on Eagle Road. Eagle Road gets so much use that it seems like they're always repaving part of it. As you can see, it's a blue sky day today. It is a beautiful day in Idaho, in kind of the mid-80s. Got a little bit of a breeze blowing. Nice day to be out flying a drone. Anyway, just showing you a little different view, a little different part of Idaho than I've shown you before. McDevitt Park. Let's bring it on back. fact, let's throw in sport mode. Let's get some speed up. I feel the need for speed. Let's see how fast we can get this guy going. 16 meters per second, a little over 16 meters per second. That's pretty good. That's about 35, 36 miles an hour, something like that. Okie dokie. So there, I'm right between those two trees right there. Sitting in a nice shady spot. Let's put this thing back in normal mode. And just for the fun of it, let's just do a return to home. In fact, I'm gonna back up and get a little more distance. And then we're going to try return to home because I want to try a couple of things. So I'm going to do return to home on the controller, holding that H button down. And it took the command, and it's rising to its 35-meter height. What I'm wondering is, no, I cannot yaw the drone. I can move the controller. Can I? Yeah, no, I was holding my finger on the screen to see if I could move the gimbal from side to side, and I can't. Anyway, just good to know. Little things to know.
Landing.
So she's coming down there. We got a look at the pitcher's warm-up area there. And it looks like it's going to land about in the same spot that it did before. You know, a few feet off of the pad. It's coming down pretty quick. Okay, you can see it on the Action 2 camera now, and it picks up the camera so it doesn't smash that camera down into the ground. And right down onto the pavement. And we're down. Shut off recording, and we're going to stop the screen recording. Give me a second to get everything shut down, and we will do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, what a versatile little drone, and kind of the perfect drone for what we did today. Small, unobtrusive, although it was kind of a good day to explore McDevitt Park here. Not a lot of people in the park today, so you know we could fly around and look around without too much worry. So I hope you enjoyed that. Nothing too terribly exciting, but you got to see a little different part of the Treasure Valley than I've shown you before. That's what they call the kind of Boise, Meridian, Napa, Caldwell area, the Treasure Valley. And you got to see just a little bit of a different park and part of it. Again, this is a Boise City Park. Really cool, the facilities that they put up here. You know, great for these kids playing Little League. Little League tournaments here, I'm sure it gets pretty crazy. And then you got the skate park over there. We saw some kids on their scooters back and forth in the skate park, which was kind of cool. Little play area for the little guys. And then the fishing pond. Most of the parks around here, they almost all have a fishing pond in them. And I just think that's so awesome for kids to be able to, just in their neighborhood, they decide they want to go fishing, grab their fishing pole and go down to the local park and see if they can catch a fish. And again, Idaho Fish and Game stocks the ponds. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's about it. It was just a kind of a perfect day to fly, and saw the opportunity here, so figured I'd take it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And oh yeah, shout out to all my friends at the Drone Seekers as well. Yeah, so yeah, again, thanks everybody. The DJI Mavic 3 Pro, just an awesome little drone. We will see you on the next one. Bye now.